Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Celtic Transfer Talk. January transfer window still obviously open, we're about halfway through January now. The revolving door, it seems to have stopped. The revolving door never actually seemed to fully revolve in any sense. We've made a couple of signings, no one noticeable on the outside of things at the minute. Really it has not been what I expected it to be, and I think the majority of Celtic fans are going to agree with that. And saying such, I think over the past couple of years the January transfer window has always been built up as far more important than it actually seems, and a lot more people take it a lot more seriously nowadays, and I feel like it's not as important as what fans are now making out to be. It is obviously an important window, but compared to the start of the season and such, well, the majority of business getting done, I feel like a lot of people seem to get too angry or too worked up about how much or how little was done by their team in January. And by this window, if we end on what we've done so far, I won't be annoyed at the fact that we've not signed many players. Obviously, we want to improve our team and such, but it's not going to annoy me to a massive extent. What's going to annoy me is the fact that it was proclaimed this revolving door, and nothing's fucking happening. That's the only thing that's annoying me. If Brendan Rodgers went into it and he said nothing about it, just said, we'll see what happens, only time will tell who's going and who's coming in, I wouldn't have bothered too much, but we're sitting here waiting because apparently there was going to be major renovations to the team. We've not been, I wouldn't say we've been promised it, but we've been told about this, and nothing's happening. I feel like a lot of fans will feel a lot of anger towards this, a lot of animosity coming around from some supporters towards this, the fact that nothing's been done really. But at the end of the day, I feel like we do have a good enough team. Domestically, it's good enough anyway. Not for Europe at the minute, but I feel like the majority of stuff should be done in the summer transfer window, and I could make a video discussing my opinions on why I feel like it should be done in the summer transfer window. Just in my opinion, it's a better time to, make big renovations. I just think it's a smarter thing to do. Why disturb the flow, the chemistry and such of a team halfway through a season by making all sorts of changes to the starting 11 themselves? At the end of the day, I'm fine at whatever way it goes. Personally, I'm not going to be too bothered, but I'm still kind of worried about this whole defensive situation, if I was to pinpoint anything. But by the reports, the links, the rumours that have been coming out over the past couple of days via different sources, it looks as though we will be signing at least one defender. Don't know who, don't know what defender, don't know what position exactly, but it does look as though a defender will probably be coming in. So rumours are kicking about as usual. The big one so far that I've seen this morning is apparently Celtic have had a bid submitted. They have made a bid for a defender, centre-back from Besiktas. We actually spoke about him a couple of weeks ago on the channel in one of these videos. It was the defender Tosic from Besiktas, 32-year-old Serbian, with over, I think, 400 club appearances and quite a number of appearances for his national team as well in Serbia. A massive part of Besiktas' Champions League campaign this season. And when we were first linked with him, the thoughts going through my head is, why would he leave a team in the last 16 at the minute to come to Celtic? But it seems like as the days are going by, and by the reports this morning, if there's anything to go by, and as I always say, take everything with a pinch of salt. If these rumours are anything to go by, then it looks as though he probably will be coming to Celtic, just down to obviously personal talks and contract discussions. But apparently we've had a €3 million bid submitted for Tosic, 32-year-old, which I've seen has been met with quite a mixed reaction. A lot of people say, why pay €3 million for a player who's 32 years old? But in my opinion, at the end of the day, what we should be doing is bringing experience into this team. And this is a guy with bags of experience, a massive amount of experience. £3 million isn't going to harm us. It's not going to be the end of the world. A lot of people have been very negative towards it because they've never heard of him. But £3 million for a player who's played that many games and been such a vital part of a Champions League side this season, helping them get to the last 16, I don't think it's that bad. Obviously, he's not going to have a long spell at Celtic if he's 32. We're talking about 2-3 years max here, and a centre-back who's 32 years old. But experience is what we're needing. It's quite obvious. We're not needing an 18-year-old who's prone to making mistakes. That's the last thing we're needing at the minute, because you see the nick of our defence in the Champions League. We need someone who's going to be coming in and being able to, play it. And this argument about age, it becomes more irrelevant as times go on, because we live in an age now where sports science is a thing, and all this top-notch medical stuff and physio facilities, where players at the ages of 30, 32 and such can still play like along the best of them at the ages of 25, 26. And this is a guy who looks as though he is keeping on top of his fitness. I mean, he's been playing a lot of games this season. As I said, he was an integral part of their Champions League group stage this season. So it's a player who's coming in, obviously isn't going to, well, hopefully, not going to croak it on us and be worthless or useless. £3 million, a steady investment if we want to progress over the next 1 to 2 years as a European side. It's not an investment, I think it's a risk. I think it's a smart investment. I'm not too bothered with it. And he could be the answer. I mean, he can play apparently in the Europa League, unlike Marvin Compa, who was brought in quite questionably due to the fact he can't play in the Europa League, although Tosic apparently can. Don't know the whole rules and regulations around it, but from what I'm reading, he apparently can. So there we go, that's the first thing to talk about. Another centre back that we're talking about is Hendry from Dundee. Dundee have apparently named their price £1.5 million. Quite steep if you ask me, but obviously Dundee are looking at the modern climate of football and the transfers going around, and they know they could get the money. And I don't know if Celtic are going to be willing to pay. I don't know if Brendan Rodgers is going to be willing to pay it. But 1.5 million, a bit steep personally at this moment in time. I don't know if I'd exactly go for it. I think I know I'm saying 3 million isn't bad, but 1.5 million for someone at Dundee at the minute who can come to the club and either go in a positive direction or a direction like Scott Allen kind of thing, you know. It could go one of two ways, and I don't know, 1.5 million seems a bit steep for someone who, you know, I don't know too much about. I've not even seen that much. We'll see. I mean, obviously, it's not the biggest amount of money in the world. We're not going to go into debt or anything by paying it. It's not going to affect us heavily in the long term. But 1.5 million for a player at Dundee does come across at first as quite steep. Will it be paid? Don't know. It's just rumours, of course. But Hendry is another player being spoke about. Finally, on the ins sort of end of the spectrum, the ins section, 2 Chelsea youngsters being spoke about. As usual, we hear Charlie Masonda, as it seems in recent times, the start of the season and now in January. Just keep hearing this Charlie Masonda rumour. Chelsea are willing to loan out. Whether it'll be to Celtic, completely different story. This is a story which is completely believe it when you see it, I would say, and for me, it's believe it when I see it. A very, very slim chance of him coming to Celtic, I would imagine. If he does come to Celtic, then hallelujah, because he could be a massive, integral part of the squad for the next 6 months, especially in this, you know, tie against Zenit St Petersburg. A player who would be vital to the team, and who knows, maybe extend that loan going forward like we done in the first scenario with Patrick Roberts, to make it a 1.5 year kind of thing. But Charlie Masonda would be a fantastic player to pick up. We've spoke about him plenty of times in these Celtic transfer talks now. I think we've made 2 videos in the past about him. But a player who has bags of potential, bags of talent at such a young age. Happily bring him in. The other player being spoke about though is Lewis Baker. Lewis Baker, who is currently out on loan in the Championship. Can't remember what team with, but Chelsea thinking about maybe recalling him apparently. He's not been getting as much game time as I think they'd like to see him get out on loan, and Celtic are being spoke about as one of the suitors to bring him in on loan to us. He's a player who's made 12 appearances this season as far as I'm aware, scored 2 goals. A player who could be a bit of quality to add in. I don't think he's the most needed in the world, but I wouldn't complain either way. I mean, we're looking at Armstrong now, who has a month-long injury. We're looking at players who could potentially go in the out, Armstrong being one of those. So Baker could be a potential replacement in the short term. Don't know, not much around it. It's a rumour that's very much quiet right now about Masonda and Baker, and I would just say believe it when you see it. I wouldn't expect too much of it, but as a rumour that's out there, and that's what I do in these videos. I spread those rumours, yes. But on the outs, a couple of things. Eric Sviatchenko has left the club, but as we all know probably by this point, it's only on a 6-month loan deal. Hallelujah. I'll be the fucking one laughing when he comes back to the team in 6 months' time and takes his rightful place as one of the starting centre-halves at Celtic. I'm joking, right? But yeah, I've proclaimed my love for Eric Sviatchenko many times on the channel. It's no secret to all of you that I'm a big fan of Eric Sviatchenko. I think he's a great defender, and I feel like he should have a place in the squad. He's been suffering from injury for quite a while recently. He's not been fit at all, which is a shame. But I've always been a fan of the guy. I just don't know, something about him that I just like, and I think he has got a true quality. And I did voice my discontent, if you like, about him leaving the club. That's my fucking screen away off. But the good news is it's only a 6-month loan deal. I'm very happy about hearing that, because I feel like this might be a little bit of a sign from Brendan that he has got some form of plan in the future for Eric Sviatchenko. Hopefully it's not just a complete and utter letdown for me that he comes back and then just sold straight away, but hopefully he does have a future at the club. I hope he does have a very successful term at Midtjylland, I don't know, his old club. Hopefully he does have a very good term over there, just regathers his form, gets a bit of fitness in him, a bit of match fitness, sharpness around him, and hopefully he comes back and gets a place in the team, because I feel like he has got a lot to offer, and it would be a stupid decision to sell him for especially such low figures that I've been talking about, 1.5 million. I feel like we can make a player out of him and sell him for far more money if he just gets the game time that I feel like he does deserve. So Eric Sviatchenko is out at the minute on loan, but hopefully he does well. Hopefully he comes back in the future and gets a place. I know a lot of people don't agree with me in Sviatchenko, but trust me, he's got to come back and he's got to be better than ever. And also Nadir Chifchi leaving the club to go to Motherwell on loan, my opinion, thank fuck, not needed at the club. One of the worst signings we've made in recent times. It's a shame, because it's a player who at Dundee United looked very good, and I was very excited at the time of signing him, because I did feel like he was going to be a good addition to the squad. Never was. He seems useless. Let that contract run out. Get rid of him. That's really my opinion towards that. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, guys. And we're nearly at 10k, so keep up the support. I'll see you all next time.